Stop. Look closer. Some of the biggest regrets in life begin with a simple mistake, trusting someone's words while ignoring their actions. Kind promises, warm smiles, convincing explanations. On the surface, everything seems genuine. Yet beneath that carefully crafted image, an entirely different intention may be hiding. Many people spend months, even years, trying to understand why a relationship changed, why a friendship suddenly collapsed, or why someone they trusted turned out to be completely different from who they appeared to be. The truth is both surprising and unsettling. Most people reveal their real intentions far earlier than we realize. Tiny signals appear in everyday conversations. Small behaviors expose hidden motives. Subtle patterns quietly reveal the truth long before major disappointments arrive. Unfortunately, most people never notice these clues until the damage is already done. That changes today. Throughout this video, you'll discover powerful psychological signs that reveal someone's true intentions faster than most people think possible. You'll learn why actions speak louder than words, why consistency matters more than charm, and why certain reactions can instantly expose motives that someone desperately wants to keep hidden. One of these signs is so powerful that, once understood, it becomes nearly impossible to ignore. Many people overlook it completely, yet it often reveals more about a person's character than anything they could ever say. Stay with us until the very end, because each sign builds on the last, leading to a final insight that could completely change the way you read people forever. Welcome to Empath Energy, where we explore the hidden truths of human behavior, emotional intelligence, and personal growth. Subscribe now and join a community dedicated to seeing beyond appearances and understanding people on a deeper level. Look closely. One of the fastest ways to uncover someone's true intentions happens during moments most people completely ignore. Not during impressive speeches, not during grand gestures, not when everyone is watching. The real truth often appears when there is absolutely nothing to gain. Many people know how to be charming when a reward is involved. They know how to be generous when they want approval. They know how to be supportive when it helps their image. But remove the audience. Remove the benefit. Remove the opportunity for personal gain. Suddenly, a different side begins to emerge. Watch how they treat the waiter at a restaurant. Notice their attitude toward a stranger who cannot offer them anything in return. Pay attention to how they speak about people who hold no power over their future. These small moments reveal something deeper than words ever could. A person with genuine kindness does not switch personalities based on someone's status or usefulness. Respect remains consistent. Compassion remains consistent. Character remains consistent. On the other hand, someone driven by selfish motives often treats people like opportunities. They become warm when they need something and distant when they don't. They become attentive when a benefit exists and indifferent when it disappears. This pattern can be incredibly subtle at first. Many people miss it because they focus on how they themselves are being treated. But true intentions are rarely revealed through special treatment. They are revealed through ordinary behavior. The most valuable information often comes from observing interactions that have nothing to do with you. In those moments, people stop performing, their guard lowers, their priorities become visible, their values quietly reveal themselves. Every day, countless clues are hiding in plain sight, showing exactly who someone is beneath the image they want others to see. The challenge is not finding the clues. The challenge is slowing down enough to notice them. Pay attention to the gap between what people say and what they repeatedly do. This gap often contains the truth. Words are powerful because they create expectations. They paint a picture of loyalty, honesty, kindness, and commitment. But actions reveal where a person's energy truly goes. Someone may say that you matter to them, yet consistently make time for everything except you. Someone may promise support, yet disappear whenever support is actually needed. At first, it is easy to explain these moments away. Everyone gets busy, everyone makes mistakes, but when the same contradiction appears again and again, a pattern begins to form. That pattern deserves your attention. Another revealing signal appears when you establish a boundary. Healthy people may not always like boundaries, but they respect them. People with hidden agendas often see boundaries as obstacles. They push, pressure, guilt trip, or become frustrated when they no longer control the situation. Their reaction exposes intentions that words carefully conceal. Consistency is equally important. Anyone can create a convincing impression for a few hours or even a few weeks. Real character reveals itself over time. Consistent honesty, consistent respect, consistent effort. These qualities cannot be faked forever. Difficult moments reveal even more. Stress, disappointment, and setbacks tend to remove the masks people wear. Under pressure, priorities become visible. Values become visible. Character becomes visible. Listen closely to the subjects people return to again and again. Repeated complaints, constant blame, endless gossip, or relentless self-focus often reveal where their mind truly lives. Notice their response when others succeed. Genuine people celebrate growth. Insecure people often struggle to hide resentment. Watch how they handle mistakes. Accountability requires maturity. Excuses require far less effort. Small moments of honesty matter too. Integrity is rarely built on grand decisions alone. It appears in everyday choices. Most importantly, notice what happens when you stop chasing. Stop initiating every conversation. Stop carrying the entire relationship. Stop providing constant attention. The effort that remains often reveals intentions more clearly than any promise ever could. Patterns never rush, but they rarely lie. Notice carefully how someone reacts the moment you establish a boundary. This is one of the fastest and most reliable ways to uncover their true intentions. Boundaries create clarity. They reveal whether a person values you as an individual or merely values access to you. Someone with genuine respect may not always agree with your limits, but they will recognize your right to set them. They adjust, they listen, they understand that healthy relationships require mutual respect. But hidden motives often react very differently. The moment a boundary appears, frustration begins to surface. Suddenly, simple requests are treated as personal attacks. Reasonable limits are labeled selfish. Guilt becomes a tool. Pressure becomes a strategy. Defensiveness replaces understanding. In these moments, pay less attention to their explanation and more attention to their reaction. Reactions often reveal intentions that words try to hide. This is why consistency matters so much. Anyone can appear respectful during easy situations. The real test comes when they hear the word no. The real test comes when they cannot get exactly what they want. Pressure reveals character in ways comfort never can. As time passes, patterns become impossible to ignore. Some people consistently respect limits because they value the relationship itself. Others only value the benefits they receive from it. Watch how they behave during stressful moments as well. Difficult circumstances tend to strip away social masks. A person who remains respectful under pressure often reveals genuine character. A person who becomes controlling, hostile, or manipulative reveals something equally important. Listen closely to recurring themes in their conversations. People often expose their priorities without realizing it. Notice how they respond to the success of others. Observe whether they accept responsibility for mistakes or constantly shift blame elsewhere. Small acts of honesty deserve attention too, because integrity rarely appears only in major decisions. It shows up in everyday choices. And perhaps one of the strongest tests of all comes when you stop overextending yourself. Stop carrying every conversation, stop fixing every problem, stop making all the effort. The response you receive afterward often reveals exactly where someone's intentions have been all along. Look beyond first impressions and focus on consistency. This is where the truth begins to separate itself from appearances. Almost anyone can create a good impression for a day. Many people can maintain that image for a few weeks, but very few can sustain a false version of themselves month after month. Eventually, effort fades, masks slip, habits take over. This is why patterns are far more valuable than isolated moments. A single act of kindness can be staged. A single promise can be spoken without intention. A single impressive gesture can create a powerful illusion. But repeated actions tell a much deeper story. Genuine people remain dependable even when nobody is paying attention. Their values show up consistently. Their respect shows up consistently. Their honesty shows up consistently. You do not need to constantly guess where you stand because their behavior creates clarity. On the other hand, performers often rely on moments rather than patterns. They know how to say the right thing at the right time. They know how to create emotional highs. But consistency requires character, and character cannot be faked forever. This becomes even more obvious during difficult times. Challenges have a way of revealing what comfort conceals. Stress, disappointment, and frustration strip away the carefully managed image people present to the world. Watch closely during these moments. Notice whether their principles remain intact or suddenly disappear when circumstances become inconvenient. Listen to the topics they return to repeatedly as well. Repetition reveals priorities. A person who constantly complains, blames others, or speaks negatively about everyone around them is revealing far more than they realize. Pay attention to how they respond when someone else succeeds. Genuine confidence celebrates growth. Hidden insecurity often struggles to do the same. Notice whether they accept responsibility for mistakes or instinctively search for someone else to blame. Small acts of honesty matter too, because integrity is built through repetition, and perhaps the clearest pattern of all emerges when you stop providing all the effort. Step back slightly, create space, allow the relationship to breathe. The pattern that follows often reveals exactly how genuine someone's intentions really are. Pay close attention when life becomes difficult, because pressure has a unique way of exposing the truth. During comfortable moments, almost anyone can appear patient, kind, and understanding. When things are going well, good behavior comes easily. But challenges create a completely different test. Stress removes filters. Disappointment weakens carefully maintained appearances. Frustration often reveals attitudes that remain hidden during easier times. This is why difficult situations are so revealing. Watch how someone responds when plans fall apart, when they face criticism, when they do not get the outcome they wanted, or when circumstances become unfair. Some people remain respectful even in frustration. They take responsibility, they adapt, they continue treating others with dignity despite their struggles. Others react very differently. Anger becomes their first response. Blame becomes their habit. Respect disappears the moment life stops cooperating with them. In those moments, you are often seeing a version of them that is much closer to their true character. Difficult times also reveal priorities. People naturally invest their attention in what matters most to them. Listen carefully to the subjects they return to over and over again. Their repeated focus often exposes their deepest motivations. Notice how they react when someone else experiences success, recognition, or happiness. Secure people are capable of celebrating another person's achievements. Insecure people often struggle with comparison, jealousy, or hidden resentment. These reactions can be subtle, but they rarely stay hidden forever. Pay attention to accountability as well. Mature individuals acknowledge mistakes and learn from them. Manipulative individuals often rewrite stories, shift blame, or search for excuses that protect their image. Small moments of honesty deserve equal attention. Integrity is not built through occasional grand gestures. It is revealed through countless ordinary choices made every day. And perhaps one of the strongest tests comes when you stop doing all the work in a relationship. Stop sending the first message every time. Stop solving every problem. Stop carrying all the emotional weight. The response that follows often reveals a pattern that words alone could never expose. Listen beyond the surface of a conversation and pay attention to the themes that appear again and again. Repetition is rarely random. People naturally reveal their priorities through the subjects that constantly occupy their minds. A person may carefully choose their words in a single conversation, but over time their true focus begins to emerge. Notice what excites them. Notice what frustrates them. Notice the stories they repeatedly tell. Someone who constantly talks about status, recognition, and personal gain may be revealing motivations far different from someone who consistently speaks about growth, purpose, and meaningful relationships. People often expose their intentions without realizing it. The clues are hidden in plain sight. Listen carefully when they speak about others as well. Frequent gossip can reveal insecurity. Constant criticism can reveal bitterness. Endless complaints can reveal a mindset trapped in blame rather than responsibility. These patterns matter because they offer a glimpse into the values guiding a person's decisions. At the same time, observe how they respond to the success of others. This is one of the most revealing moments of all. Genuine people are capable of celebrating another person's achievements without feeling threatened. Their support feels natural. Their encouragement feels sincere. Others may offer congratulations while quietly struggling with jealousy beneath the surface. Their words sound positive, but their energy tells a different story. Accountability provides another important clue. When mistakes happen, some people accept responsibility and seek improvement. Others immediately search for excuses, explanations, or someone else to blame. Over time, these reactions become patterns, and patterns reveal character. Pay attention to the small moments too. Tiny acts of honesty often reveal more than dramatic promises. Integrity is built through consistency, not occasional performances. And one of the clearest tests comes when you stop doing all the work. Stop initiating every interaction. Stop providing endless attention. Stop carrying the relationship forward on your own. The space that follows often reveals where someone's effort, energy, and intentions were truly invested all along. Watch closely when someone else receives good news. A promotion, an achievement, recognition, happiness, or success can reveal things that ordinary conversations never will. Many people assume support is measured by encouraging words, but true support is often revealed through emotional reactions. Genuine people are able to celebrate another person's growth without feeling threatened by it. They do not see someone else's success as a loss for themselves. They recognize that another person's victory does not diminish their own value. Their happiness feels natural. Their encouragement feels sincere. There is no competition hidden beneath their kindness. But not everyone responds this way. Sometimes jealousy hides behind a smile. Sometimes insecurity disguises itself as support. The words may sound positive, yet something feels slightly off. The excitement seems forced. The praise feels reluctant. The conversation quickly shifts back to them. These subtle reactions often reveal internal struggles that carefully chosen words cannot conceal. Hidden agendas frequently struggle when someone else shines. They may downplay accomplishments, change the subject, offer backhanded compliments, or find reasons why the achievement is not that important. These moments reveal far more than they intend. Pay attention to accountability as well. People with strong character accept responsibility when they make mistakes. They learn, adapt, and grow. People driven by ego often protect their image at all costs. Excuses become automatic. Blame becomes a habit. The same principle applies to honesty. Integrity is not revealed only during major life events. It appears in small decisions, everyday conversations, and moments when telling the truth would be inconvenient. Over time, these small choices create clear patterns. And patterns are always more important than isolated moments. One of the strongest patterns to observe emerges when you stop chasing, stop initiating every conversation, stop offering endless attention, stop carrying all the effort. Relationships reveal their true balance when one person stops doing all the work. The response that follows often exposes priorities, commitment, and intentions more clearly than any explanation ever could. Pay attention to how someone responds when they make a mistake. This simple moment can reveal more about their true intentions than hours of conversation. Honest people understand that being wrong is part of being human. They may not enjoy admitting mistakes, but they are willing to face them. They accept responsibility, make corrections, and focus on growth rather than protecting their image. That willingness to be accountable reflects confidence, maturity, and genuine character. People with hidden motives often respond very differently. Their first instinct is not understanding but self-protection. Excuses appear immediately. Responsibility gets shifted elsewhere. Circumstances become the problem. Other people become the problem. Somehow they are always the victim of every situation. Over time, this pattern becomes impossible to ignore. A person who never accepts responsibility eventually reveals that preserving their ego matters more than discovering the truth. Accountability is powerful because it requires honesty. It requires the courage to acknowledge imperfections without feeling destroyed by them. The absence of accountability often points towards something deeper, an unwillingness to confront reality. This same pattern appears in everyday honesty as well. Small moments often reveal more than dramatic situations. Notice whether someone tells the truth when there is no obvious benefit. Notice whether their stories remain consistent. Notice whether they exaggerate achievements or minimize mistakes. Integrity is rarely demonstrated through grand speeches. It is built through countless small decisions that accumulate over time. The more you observe these decisions, the clearer a person's intentions become. Patterns begin to emerge, reactions become predictable, character reveals itself through repetition, and perhaps one of the strongest tests of all comes when you stop making everything easy for them. Stop solving every issue, stop giving endless chances, stop being the one who always reaches out first. Create space and watch carefully. Some people step forward and match your effort. Others slowly disappear when the benefits disappear. In that space, priorities become visible, commitment becomes visible, and the truth behind their intentions often reveals itself without a single word being spoken. Look closely at the small moments that most people ignore, because truth often reveals itself there first. Many people expect dishonesty to appear in major situations, but character is usually exposed long before that. Tiny opportunities to be honest appear every day. A person can admit a mistake, tell the complete truth, give accurate credit, or acknowledge something uncomfortable. These moments may seem insignificant, yet they reveal powerful patterns. Someone who regularly bends the truth to protect their image, avoid responsibility, or gain a small advantage is showing you a habit, not a coincidence. Integrity is rarely a decision made once. It is a pattern repeated over time. Honest people tend to value truth even when it offers no immediate reward. They understand that trust is built through consistency. Their words and actions remain aligned because authenticity matters more than appearances. Others become skilled at telling partial truths, leaving out important details, or reshaping events in ways that benefit them. At first, these distortions may seem harmless. Over time, they reveal a deeper relationship with honesty itself. This is why observing patterns matters so much. Small choices become habits. Habits become character. Character shapes intentions. The same principle applies to effort and commitment. People reveal what truly matters to them through where they consistently invest their time, energy, and attention. Words may describe priorities, but actions expose them. Watch where someone's focus naturally goes. Notice what they repeatedly make time for and what they repeatedly neglect. Another powerful clue appears when effort is no longer one-sided. Stop carrying every conversation. Stop solving every problem. Stop being the only one maintaining the connection. Give the relationship room to reveal its natural balance. Some people will step forward because the relationship genuinely matters to them. Others will quietly drift away because their investment was never as deep as their words suggested. Over time, these patterns become impossible to miss. They reveal commitment, sincerity, and ultimately the intentions that have been present from the very beginning. Watch where people consistently place their time, energy, attention, and effort. This is often where their true intentions become impossible to hide. Words can create an image, but emotional investment reveals reality. Every person has limited energy. Every day requires choices. Because of this, people naturally invest the most in the things that matter most to them. Listen carefully to promises, but pay even closer attention to commitment. Someone may claim that a relationship, friendship, or goal is important, yet their actions tell a completely different story. Real intentions are often visible in the choices people make when nobody is forcing them. They show up in the effort they willingly give. They show up in the attention they consistently offer. They show up in the sacrifices they are willing to make. Actions reveal commitment in ways words never can. This becomes even clearer when effort is no longer one-sided. There comes a moment when the strongest test is simply stepping back. Stop being the one who always initiates contact. Stop being the one who constantly checks in, makes plans, solves problems, and keeps everything moving forward. Create space and observe what happens next. Many people fear doing this because they worry about losing the connection, but the truth is that space often reveals what constant effort conceals. Some people will naturally step forward, they will reach out, they will contribute, they will show through their actions that the relationship matters to them too. Others will slowly fade into the background, not because they are busy, not because they forgot, but because the connection was being sustained almost entirely by your effort. This is one of the most powerful indicators of genuine intention, and it leads directly to the final and perhaps most revealing lesson of all. Never judge someone based on a single moment. Never build your conclusions on one good day or one bad day. Anyone can rise to an occasion once. Anyone can fail occasionally. The truth lives in patterns, repeated actions, repeated choices, repeated behaviors. Over time, patterns tell a story that words can never rewrite, and that story often reveals exactly who a person truly is. Step back for a moment and watch carefully. One of the fastest ways to discover someone's true intentions is not by doing more, but by doing less. Many people spend years trying to understand where they stand in a relationship while constantly providing the energy that keeps it alive. They send the first message, they make the plans, they check in, they forgive repeatedly, they carry the emotional weight. As long as this effort continues, it becomes difficult to see the relationship clearly because your energy is filling every gap. But something powerful happens when you stop chasing. Stop initiating every conversation. Stop overgiving. Stop solving every problem. Stop being the person who always keeps the connection moving forward. Then watch. Not with anger, not with resentment. Simply observe. Some people will step forward, they will reach out because they genuinely value the relationship. Their effort will begin to match yours. Their actions will demonstrate care without needing reminders. Others will become distant almost immediately. The silence that follows can reveal more than months of conversation ever could. This is not because they are bad people. It is because their level of investment was never equal to yours in the first place. When your effort disappears, their true level of commitment becomes visible. And that leads directly to the final and most powerful lesson. Never place too much weight on isolated moments. One thoughtful gesture does not define a person. One disappointing moment does not define them either. Real truth lives in patterns. Patterns reveal intentions. Patterns reveal character. Patterns reveal priorities. A person may occasionally say the right thing, make a grand promise, or perform an impressive act, but repeated behavior tells the deeper story. Over weeks, months, and years, patterns become impossible to hide. They reveal who someone chooses to be when nobody is forcing them, when nobody is watching, and when there is nothing to gain. This final pattern is often the clearest window into a person's true intentions, because consistency rarely lies. Pay attention to patterns above everything else. This final sign is often the difference between seeing people clearly and being repeatedly confused by them. Many people make the mistake of building their opinions around isolated moments. A single compliment, a single apology, a single act of kindness, a single disappointment. But human behavior is far more complex than one moment. Anyone can be generous occasionally. Anyone can lose their patience occasionally. One good day does not prove character. One bad day does not define it either. The truth begins to emerge when the same behaviors appear again and again. Patterns remove confusion because they reveal what a person consistently chooses, not what they occasionally display. This is where true intentions live. A person who repeatedly shows respect is revealing respect. A person who repeatedly breaks promises is revealing priorities. A person who repeatedly supports you during difficult times is revealing commitment. And a person who repeatedly disappears when things become inconvenient is revealing something just as important. Patterns expose the difference between who someone wants to be seen as and who they actually are. This is why emotionally intelligent people become careful observers. They do not rush to judge based on one impressive gesture. They do not ignore warning signs because of one charming moment. Instead, they watch for consistency. They watch for repetition. They watch for the story that behavior tells over time. The most revealing patterns often appear in ordinary situations. How someone treats people when they gain nothing. How they respond to boundaries. How they handle success, failure, honesty, accountability, and effort. Each moment becomes a piece of a much larger picture. Eventually, that picture becomes impossible to ignore. The mask may change from day to day. The words may change from conversation to conversation. The explanations may change whenever circumstances change. But patterns remain remarkably consistent. They quietly reveal values, motives, priorities, and intentions. Those who learn to trust patterns instead of isolated moments gain something incredibly valuable: the ability to see people as they truly are, rather than as they merely appear to be. The fastest way to read someone's true intentions is not through mind reading, it is through observation. Every single day, people reveal pieces of who they really are through their choices, reactions, habits, and behavior. The challenge is not that the signs are hidden. The challenge is that hope often makes us look away from them. Sometimes we want the story to be different. Sometimes we want the words to be true even when the actions tell another story. But intentions always leave footprints. They appear in consistency. They appear in accountability. They appear in effort. They appear in the way people treat others when there is nothing to gain, and in the way they respond when life becomes difficult. The more carefully you observe these patterns, the less power appearances have over you. You begin to trust what you see instead of what you wish were true. And that changes everything. Because when you stop focusing only on promises and start paying attention to repeated behavior, people's true intentions become much easier to understand. Now we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever discovered someone's true intentions much later than you wished? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might help someone else see a pattern they have been missing. And if you found value in this video, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more insights into psychology, emotional intelligence, and human behavior. Thank you for spending this time with us here at Empath Energy. Until next time, remember this: words may create an image, but patterns reveal the truth, and those who learn to see the truth walk through life with far greater wisdom, clarity, and peace.